September 11, 2023. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. You can look at the descriptions below to see where I saw setups as well as where I took my trades. There was no real economic data today to move the markets. I want to point out that today was a very slow day. I only saw, I think, 3 real setups, and of the 3, I took 2 of them, and they actually happened at the very early part of the day. I also want to point out that this is what I pulled up from Thinkorswim. You can see this December contract, so the E futures or E mini futures. You can see where the volume is about right here, and then you can see on the old contracts, the September contracts, which expires in 4 days, Friday, the volume is starting to drop. It's still quite a lot of volume. So what's happening is there's like split trading. There's some people who are trading on the new contracts, and then there's people who are still trading the old contracts. The people trading on the old contracts are likely institutions that are kind of slowly rolling their contracts on this, whether they're long or short, to this one. It's taking a little bit of time. So what's happened today was actually very slow price action. I'll even show you how slow it was because this is kind of where the market opened, 6:30 to about 7:30, which is about right here. Just draw this rectangle. Now watch this. So this is just 1 hour of trading. Then if you draw from 7:30 to the next 8:30, it only comes about to here. This is about another hour of trading. And as you can see how many candles there are, these are 2000 tick chart, 2000 trade candles. And then even from here, I'm actually going to increase it from here, 8:30 all the way over to not 9:30, but even 10:30. And if you even go all the way up to like 12 o'clock, this is just like how much price action that was happening. It's very slow today. And there wasn't much to trade, and there wasn't a lot of setups because things just look congested. This is the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows. Excuse me. And then I couldn't really quite find any good, clean, solid, big trends. So there were a lot of these small little trends, but even then, if you just look at how much the prices moved from about, let's say 45.08 to about 45, let's say 45.42, it's about 35 points of movement, of which most of the price action happened in about 20 points of movement. So it's very slow. It's not going to take, this video is not going to be very long. It's just going to talk about the 3 setups that I saw. And I took 2 of them, and they both turned out to be green. I think I was actually pretty lucky. It happened in the very first hour of trading. So pre-market, you have this push up, another pullback, another push up. So it's 2 clear legs. It kind of establishes that this might be the trading range. This blue line, I later drew thinking there might be kind of the bottom of a sub trading range from the top of this gray to the bottom of this blue. The challenge today was a lot of times where I thought there was a trading range setting up, it didn't consistently meet the bottoms or consistently meet the tops. So it was kind of this choppy, wide, meandering price action that didn't kind of respect very clean trading ranges. But then when you went into a channel, it didn't really, I guess, set up very nicely either. So you're kind of both ways watching paint dry. On the open, it looks like it just kind of rallied a little bit, then it had this big sell-off. But here I'm watching, I don't see a good setup. These candles are pretty much side by side, and on top of that, they're very small. So they're only about 2 points of range, or 2 points of the entire candle body. So you're trying to scalp, or I'm just trying to scalp 1 point, so it gets very dicey to try to take these trades. It looks like it bounces, and at this point, I do see this potential down channel, and I draw this lower red trend channel as a potential support. And at one time I was thinking, okay, trading is falling within this green channel pretty nicely, but there's no setups, no clean setups. It breaks out of this green channel, comes up, and it kind of rejects down. So here, I had the red trend line here, and I was thinking maybe there's a potential top of the trading channel right on up here. It kind of comes down. Like, oops, I need to move that. I got a lot of ugly stuff going on here. chart's not looking the best right now. So I do have a new low here. It's the first entry short, second entry short. Now the second entry short, this isn't a very good signal bar. You do have a trend coming down right now, and then when this candle closes, it's too late. It definitely felt too late to take this trade. I have a second entry short, so I actually saw a new low here, double bottom. First entry short comes up. It looks like it's going to get rejected by the EMA. It does. It has a second entry short. So actually set up for my first trade here. So I actually had a one tick below because I liked that there was an EMA rejection. So EMA is pushing prices down. I wasn't 100% sure that this red channel was valid, but I saw it as a potential breakout and push back down. So I went for a 1 point scalp because there was enough room from here, the bottom here, all the way down to the lows where the double bottom was made. So I was able to get a quick trade right here. And prices continue moving. Kind of bottom, so I see this potential support. So I'm thinking maybe there is some kind of trading range. So I drew this as a potential support down here, and I wasn't 100% sure where the top was. I actually had the top kind of closer to here. And I also saw this as a new low, and I also saw this as a new high. So this is a kind of a support of a low. I saw this as a first entry long, pull back a second entry long. It's coming right against this EMA again. And it gets rejected, and I like the looks of that. So I'm thinking I want to go short, but I am shorting potentially into a potential support. I saw this as a potential lower high. So what made me want to take this trade is it looks like it's coming back down. And I was wondering if there are a bunch of stop orders one tick below this 5 bottom touch. So I actually put my order in after I saw this break, pulls back, and it was struggling. And that's where I actually dropped my limit order in right down here to sell, thinking, there's at least enough momentum to probably push down because I like the signal bar here. And I was able to quickly get out, chops around. Had I had my stop up here, I would have gotten stopped out if I wanted to go for a little bit more than just 1 point. And I wasn't trying to be ambitious today because just looking at how price action is, it didn't feel like there was going to be a lot of good trades to try to get any big moves out of. On top of that, I already knew since it was a option rollover was happening pretty much now, it would be really a lot of split trading, a lot of volume going to the previous contract as well as the current contract. So I wasn't going to be ambitious, just quick scalp here. Prices then continue moving up, it hit the top, came back down. So at this point, I kind of abandoned the idea that this channel is in play. And I was thinking like maybe this channel was in play. It had when it what touched once, touched twice, touched 3 times, it also gave me a little more confidence on this trade that this could be a potential resistance. That's how come I was a little more confident taking the entry here. But I will admit, as I said, I'm coming right into the bottom, but I was playing off the idea that there was stops one tick below this 5 bottom touch. And once it flashed through, it was bouncing around. That's when I dropped my order in. So I didn't take it in anticipation. I actually had to confirm and wait for this candle to actually prove to me that it went through. The prices continue moving. I draw this as a trend line right now, 1 touch, 2 touch, and I put the bottom right here because it looked like it fit pretty nicely, although the channel is a little bit wider than I'd like. I was watching, it touches here and it bounces back down. This is where I actually saw the last and only setup of the day. So I actually saw this new low here. It's a first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short, and then you have a third entry short here. I also saw it potentially as one leg up, pull back, and it's a little choppy, but a second leg up. And I saw this as a lower high. This lower high closed pretty nicely, and it is running down to potentially this purple line again. So I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought this might have been a trade, but I just didn't like the looks of it. Just 'cause today had been very kind of weird. Weird in that it just felt like things were stuck in the mud. Things were struggling to move. The market looks like it wanted to go somewhere, but it couldn't. There was just a lot of things going for and against if you were going long or short. So I saw that, but I wasn't sure, so I had to wait. And then it flashes through, it would have worked, flashes below this purple line, which I suspect could have been a trading range. So actually, I'll just go ahead and color this purple line in. I was thinking this is potential trading range, but it was kind of ugly because it wasn't holding down here and it's breaking out here. And then just pretty much the rest of the day, price action got very, very slow. You technically have a first entry long here. If you look at a bigger scale, one push up, pull back, second push up, because you technically have the first entry long here, pulls back, second entry long, and also large visual first, second. But it just took, you just look at the size of these candles and how long it took to close. I just was kind of, just kind of pretty much being very cautious today. The prices just kind of kept moving. I drew this channel going up. It looked like it fit pretty nicely. This is the one I'm talking about. And it looked like it fit on the top pretty nicely. Unfortunately, I didn't see a good setup because technically you have a new high here, first entry long, second entry long, but the signal bar to go long is not very good. It's too neutral. And then prices just continue moving. And as I'm clicking through and you're seeing these candles print, keep in mind that this is over a span of about a couple of hours. And you can see how many candles are forming in a couple of hours. Not very many. And the sizes of them are very tiny. So then it kind of goes into this consolidation. It looks like EMA is holding. And I noticed that. So I was kind of look for a potential entry. I thought this might have been one. It was like first entry short, second entry short failure. But I didn't like that it was too close to the top of this potential consolidation range. It just felt congested. And as I kept going, I just kind of resigned myself at this point that there wasn't going to be any further trades. I should just be pretty happy I got these two trades here that were successful. And even going back throughout the day, looking if there was something I missed, I couldn't find it. So I just had to accept that, today is just a pretty slow, pretty boring, ugly day. Prices then continue moving. EMA is holding, but I don't see any good setup. And here it's sort of getting into the close. So it was a very short, no, the trading day is standard trading day, but price action made it feel like paint was drying. And there was just not very much of anything today. So these two trades, even though I was green, I could have easily just kind of skipped today completely. So hopefully that was helpful.